We find a way, baby. Fever down. Bow, bow, bow.
Man, I think it's the next step up mentality as far as players. Our shifts keep changing. Everybody doing a different role, and so I think we all got the mentality where you give and you sacrifice.
This is a warning to everyone who thought the Indiana Fever were just a one-woman show. What happened in Dallas on Friday night wasn't just a basketball game, it was a statement that should have the entire WNBA taking notes. Aaliyah Boston just delivered 6 words that perfectly captured why this Fever team is more dangerous than anyone realized. And when Sophie Cunningham breaks her silence about what's really happening in NBA locker rooms, you'll understand why this win means everything.
Sophie Cunningham goes in the post-game press conference and confirms what we've all known all along.
We've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands.
This locker room is split, and she uses the term different islands going on in this locker room.
Sophie literally says there's a little thing going on in the locker room.
That's not good. That's not good to hear.
If you support the Fever and believe this team is built for greatness, drop Fever forever in the comments right now, because what I'm about to show you will change how you see this franchise forever. Let's paint the picture of just how impossible this situation was for Indiana. Picture this. You're the Indiana Fever. Your superstar, Caitlin Clark, the player who brought 20,000 fans to Dallas, is officially ruled out with a groin injury. You're coming off a humiliating loss to the LA Sparks where your entire system collapsed without Clark on the court.
Yeah, I think for us, it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs. And they made their run that third quarter. And honestly, just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working on. And so for us, that was our focus, is get a stop. Go.
Now you're walking into the American Airlines Center, a venue the Dallas Wings moved to specifically because they expected 20,000 Clark fans to show up. The Wings were licking their chops, thinking they had a wounded animal cornered. But here's what nobody expected. Even without Clark confirmed to play, 20,409 people still packed that arena. They set a new Texas women's basketball attendance record without their main attraction even guaranteed to take the court. Coach Stephanie White shocked everyone by starting Ari McDonald for the first time, a complete wildcard move that nobody saw coming. The stage was set for either complete disaster or something absolutely magical.
Down and score, get another stop, and we try to get a kill.
Picture this massive buildup that had the entire WNBA world talking. Clark versus Beckers. The #1 pick from 2024 against the top pick from 2025. This wasn't just any regular season game. This was the matchup everyone had been waiting for since draft night. The Dallas Wings knew they had something special brewing, so they made a huge decision. They moved the game from their usual home at College Park Center to the massive American Airlines Center where the Mavericks play. Think about that for a second. You don't just move a game to a 20,000-seat arena unless you know something big is about to happen. Fans started buying tickets like crazy. The buzz was everywhere. Social media was going wild. This was going to be the showdown that would break attendance records and show the world just how far women's basketball has come.
Finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today. It's just, it really is a day-to-day thing. And I think for us, making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness,
What happened next defied every prediction and broke every expectation. The Fever didn't just survive those opening minutes, they exploded with a ferocity that stunned everyone in the building. Ari McDonald, the surprise starter, played like a woman possessed. She unleashed a storm on Dallas, using her blistering speed to push pace and create complete chaos.
Caitlin Clark fan.
There's one really concerning thing that Sophie Cunningham said.
I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own island.
It's been a disaster. The good teams can keep the locker room.
The Wings had prepared their entire defensive strategy around stopping a slow, predictable offense. They had no answer for McDonald's downhill assault. Here's the mind-blowing part. Indiana started the game by hitting their first 7 shots in a row. 7 straight makes from the field. For the first time all season, Aaliyah Boston was getting the ball in positions to dominate, and her confidence was building with every possession. By the end of the first quarter, the scoreboard read Indiana 33, Dallas 13. They outscored Dallas by 20 points in just 12 minutes. The Hunters had become the hunted. But this is where legends are made. Paige Buchers wasn't about to go down quietly.
I feel a disappointment for them more than anything because, you want them to see her at her best and us at our best. I hate that for fans, but at the same time, again, for us as a team, and for CATLIN as a person and player.
What Paige Bueckers did next wasn't just a comeback. It was a history-making performance that will be talked about for years. Bueckers finished with 27 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. But here's the kicker. She did it all with 0 turnovers. She became the first player in WNBA history to achieve that perfect stat line. 25-plus points, 5-plus assists, 2-plus steals, 2-plus blocks, and 0 turnover.
Caitlin Clark is the star player of the WNBA.
The most popular woman ever in the WNBA.
She was surgically dissecting the Fever defense, hitting shots from every spot on the floor and setting up teammates with flawless precision. The comfortable Fever lead began evaporating point by point, and you could feel that familiar panic creeping back in. This was supposed to be the part where Indiana fell apart. This was where they always collapsed without Clark. Every indicator pointed to disaster.
Caitlin Clark is the needle. Caitlin is box off.
Caitlin Clark as the star. Everything else is wrapped around her, and everything else is revolving around her.
She's Rookie of the Year in the
But something different happened this time. With their backs against the wall and facing one of the greatest individual performances in league history, the Fever's other heroes answered the call. Kelsey Mitchell refused to be a footnote in Paige Bueckers' story. She went into complete takeover mode, pouring in 32 points and hitting clutch shot after clutch shot. She wasn't just scoring, she was leading with veteran poise. Aaliyah Boston became a force of nature underneath, finishing with 21 points and battling for every crucial rebound. She made game-saving defensive stops and did all the gritty work that separates good teams from great ones.
I think the biggest thing for us is our attention to detail in our screening. We've got to be great screeners. We got to make sure we slow down and use our screen and our spacing. We've had some games where our spacing has been poor, and that has not allowed Kelsey to get downhill, and it hasn't allowed space for Aliyah to get going either. So I think that the two most important things for us right now offensively is attention to detail and screen.
The final minutes turned into a heavyweight fight, with Mitchell and Boston trading blows with the unstoppable Bueckers. They weathered the historic storm and proved that this team's heart was bigger than any one player's absence. Final score, Indiana 94, Dallas 86. After this statement victory, Aaliyah Boston stepped to the podium and delivered 6 words that should send chills down the spine of every team in the WNBA. Every game is a home game.
Every game is a home game. I think you see that. People show up, they show out. I think it's great for this league, just people continuing to come to games and watch, because I think when people show up to watch a game, they might have came for one person, but they leave liking many more. And so I think that's the way you look at it, right? You have this arena that's filled and people are coming in and they're like, whoa, I like her, she's tough. And so I think it's just great for the game.
Let that sink in. Boston wasn't just talking about fan support. She was sending a message about what this franchise has become. She continued, "People show up, they show out. I think when people show up to watch a game, they might have come for one person, but they leave liking many more." This wasn't arrogance, this was confidence. Boston was telling the league, we don't need one player to carry us. We're a team and we travel with an army. She's getting everyone involved in ways that make you forget Clark isn't even playing. Dallas walks into this game thinking they can just focus on stopping Kelsey Mitchell. The Fever posted Boston's quote on social media with one word, facts. They're not backing down from this message. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. While Boston is sending confidence signals, other voices are revealing different truths about team chemistry in the WNBA. Sophie Cunningham recently broke silence about locker room issues, mentioning different islands and teams wavering when they should be leaning on each other. Her comments highlight how crucial team unity is when star players are absent.
Sophie Cunningham, in the post-game interview, speaks on this team and the islands.
The contrast is striking. Boston's Fever showed what happens when a team comes together in adversity, while other franchises are dealing with fractured chemistry and internal division. This makes Indiana's performance even more impressive. They're not just winning games, they're building the culture that championship teams require.
Take care of our locker room.
Woo! You did a shit job at...
The message is crystal clear. The Indiana Fever are not a one-woman show. They're a franchise that travels with 20,000 fans, plays with championship heart, and has leaders like Aaliyah Boston who aren't afraid to make bold statements. Every game is a home game for this team. Every arena becomes Fever territory, and every opponent now knows you're not just facing CATLIN Clark, you're facing an entire movement. Drop Fever forever if you're ready to see what this team can do when everyone is healthy and firing on all cylinders. The WNBA has been warned.
Right before the main event, CATLIN Clark gets called for a foul here, and she runs over. She's like, I didn't touch her. I didn't touch her. And they're saying, we'll look at it. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. She's like, wow, look at it. And she's right. There's no contact made. She gets called for the foul. Watch this replay right here. Just no contact made.
CATLIN Clark gets called for a foul, and she runs over. She's like, I didn't touch her. I didn't touch her. And they're saying, we'll look at it. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. She's like, wow, what? Look at it. And she's right. There's no contact made. She gets called for the foul. Watch this replay right here. Just no contact made. Gets called for the foul. She tells the ref, she says, oh my God, watch it back after the game. Trust me, you'll see.
To the ground. Oh, she can't believe it. Oh, what the fuck? What? Are you kidding me? I just got fouled for not touching someone.
Yeah, I didn't touch it all. Watch, actually, you watch it right now. Look up, there it is. So that happened. They make both of their free throws, and then Indiana's got the ball, and it's the next possession right after. She doesn't touch someone and gets the foul. Then you got CATLIN Clark with the ball, banging around top of the key. Her and JC Sheldon just banging around, and then she's going to take a finger to the eye, and then gets bumped, and then gets sent to the ground. She can't believe it. What, are you kidding me? I just got fouled for not touching someone, and they just tore my eyeball out and banged me to the ground. This systematic targeting is forcing veteran WNBA stars to retire. Don't you dare change that channel.
I kind of got a little bit emotional, you know, to be at this moment in front of a sold out crowd, in front of all this attention, and to have that moment is just pretty special to me because, I don't want to say I deserve that, but, you know, I'm trying to be as humble as I can. But being around that long, I kind of feel like I deserve that moment. And for it to happen right then and there in this time period in my career, it was just, I don't know. I'm just so grateful.
Let's start with the elephant in the room. DeWanna Bonner, the WNBA's third all-time leading scorer, hasn't stepped foot on the court since June 12th. The official reason? Personal reasons. But league insiders are painting a very different picture. WNBA writer Rosalina Lee isn't mincing words. She believes Bonner is seriously considering retirement, and it's not just about age or injury. It's about keeping up with the new pace of play that CATLIN Clark has brought to the Indiana Fever. There are rumors she can't keep up. Clark's role has raised the bar. Older players must keep up or fall back. It's tough at this point in a career. Rosalina Lee.
And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on JC towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
You think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
Wow, that's about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you think of just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin, and
We're
particularly?
going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's
That's
go!
pretty exciting. Y'all want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
Here's what makes this even more concerning. Bonner signed a one-year deal worth approximately $200,000, 0 cents with the Fever, played just 3 games, and then disappeared. Some reports suggest she's even wiped the Fever from her social media pages, though we haven't been able to independently verify this. The timing couldn't be worse for Indiana. With forward Damaris Dantas already on temporary leave from June 26th to July 8th, the Fever could find themselves dangerously short-handed if Bonner doesn't return or if they can't secure a replacement signing.
You want on the back or the front?
Oh God! Let me see the jersey. Turn around.
All right.
To understand why veterans like Bonner might be feeling the pressure, we need to examine just how dramatically Caitlin Clark has transformed this league. The numbers don't just tell a story, they scream it from the rooftops.
She single-handedly delivered.
WNBA record. This is her second season. And you put the numbers together, that's like 10 seasons. That girl did it in 10 seasons. That means she had one a season. Caitlin Clark is... when Caitlin Clark gets to 10 seasons, she's going to have 100 of these. And y'all can't get a girl her roses. Now, I don't like the fact that she be getting woke because she don't want all these lesbians to be mad at. But at the end of the day, is the woman put in the...
Before Clark, the WNBA was fighting for airtime. After her arrival, it became appointment television. We're talking about a one-woman economic stimulus package here. Let that sink in. One player sits out, and more than half the television audience for the entire league vanishes. This isn't just impact, this is complete market dominance. Clark has already achieved a triple-double and led the Indiana Fever to their first Commissioner's Cup final. Her shooting can be inconsistent, particularly from three-point range. She's gone 1 for 17 from behind the arc in her last 2 games. But her playmaking ability and leadership continue to set her apart. I mean, there's going to be stretches that are really good and stretches that aren't as good. Obviously, it's frustrating. You want them to go in. The challenge for myself going forward is just continue to pour into every other aspect of the game.
Walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul and what was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know? Either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
But Clark's success hasn't come without controversy. What we're seeing on the court isn't just tough basketball. It's systematic targeting. Every game has become a highlight reel of hip checks, off-ball shoves, and aggressive closeouts that border on assault. The most egregious example? The infamous shove from Marina Mabrey that sent Clark flying with a full-body check completely disconnected from the play. It was a move you'd expect in hockey, not basketball.
I mean, is that displacement? I think it is.
Oh, and Marina Mabrey's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected.
Well, they're going to go and look at it.
Recent footage shows Clark getting poked in the eye during a physical matchup against the Sun that resulted in 3 ejections. The pattern is clear. Opponents have adopted a primary defensive strategy of seeing how much physical abuse she can endure before she breaks. What's most infuriating? Clark's reaction. She doesn't retaliate. She doesn't complain. She just gets back up and goes to work. But instead of being seen as professionalism, her composure is being interpreted as arrogance, which only fuels more aggression. Colin Cowherd summed it up perfectly. It's a horizontal, chippy league. Caitlin Clark is like kerosene to the physicality flame. They don't know how to officiate her. They don't know how to defend her. This is the worst she'll ever be. She's getting better, and they can't stop her.
The WNBA has arrived. Caitlin Clark's gotten really good really fast. It's like the end of year 1 for Michael Jordan or year 3 for Michael Jordan. She's gotten really good really fast. And you got to put a body on her, or you got to double team her, or she's going to embarrass you. She's shooting 33-footers. And what happened last night's a byproduct of that. This is what happened to MJ. She's number 1 and 2 in every offensive stat. She's hitting more threes this season than Steph Curry did in his first MVP season. And her game embarrasses you. So like men's basketball, J.C. Sheldon had the task of stopping the latest superstar in her basketball league. And this thing was chatty in the second quarter. It was chatty. They've got history. It was trash talking. And then in the third quarter, Sheldon poked her in the eye. Again, this is something we see all the time. They were on each other. They were talking. It was trashy. The superstar like MJ, unstoppable, poke her in the eye, and that's a flagrant foul, and it should have been a flagrant foul. And then Marina Mabrey, this is inappropriate, came over, knocked her over. Many thought she should have been thrown out of the game. Well, she did get a technical. It's a little bad boys Pistons with MJ. For the record, Caitlin Clark.
Perhaps the most damning aspect of this story is the response from officials and league leadership. While Clark is being treated like a human piñata, referees seem to be looking the other way. Blatant aggressive fouls are being ignored or called as common fouls, sending a clear message: it's open season. The WNBA front office, the very institution that should be protecting its golden goose, has remained deafeningly silent. They're quicker to comment on dress code violations than on the systematic targeting of their biggest star.
You've gained, I think, 500,000 followers and such, and your jersey selling out. How cool is that for your?
Yeah, you know, it's cool. It's funny what kind of